doing great things now. Mr. Boswell.
Thank you all so much for having me today. Ms. Gordon, thank you so much for just continually putting me on the spot about how such a great program. Thank you so much for just applying the pressure so much. I really appreciate that.
I have never heard you do a bad program, so.
Well, thank you. You just better add on. So much for that. Thank you. First of all, I would like to say good afternoon to each of you. To Ms. Dorothy Tidwell, who asked me about speaking today. I tried to look over the room to see. I see we have our mayor here. We have county commissioners. We have board members. Trying to see who am I missing. Roanoke City Schools employees and students. And then we have so many other leaders from the city of Roanoke, from Randolph County. And we have so many distinguished guests, so, and visitors and friends. So thank all of you all for coming out today to hear me speak. So I'm excited to stand here before you today for the Chamber of Commerce and for this event. When Ms. Dorothy asked me to speak, I asked her, I said, well, what do I speak about? And she told me, she said, well, just kind of speak about yourself, speak, on your journey as the first African-American superintendent here in Roanoke City Schools. So I really don't like speaking about myself, so I was hoping, to maybe have another subject to speak on, but hey, why not? So I'll just speak on myself today, and we'll see how this goes. Basically, my mother, and everybody loves their mothers. I mean, we all do. My mother, she pushed me, and she always supported me, and she always told me to give my best. I had a father who told me, you can do anything. I have a supportive wife, Miss Cicely, who is not able to be here with us today, and I have two loving kids, Tyranny and Tyler. I joke with people all the time that no matter how anyone else feels, my son Ty, he's going to always give me a hug and a kiss when I come home, no matter what. Tyler is my special needs son. So no matter what, how anyone else feels, I'm going to get that kiss and that hug from him when I walk through the door. And to me, that's what I look for, and that gives me the strength and energy each and every day when I go home. But for me, I had others who played a major part in this journey. My teachers, they played an important role in me standing here today before you as the first African American superintendent. So I decided to title this speech, My Story, A Journey, Our Dream. I can remember attending Hart Baptist Center in Jackson, Mississippi. I grew up with my mother, my father, and 5 sisters. I have 4 sisters that are older than me, and yes, I'm the only boy. As time moved on, my parents decided to move outside of Jackson, Mississippi to Holmes County, which is the poorest county in the state of Mississippi. Well, how do a young man make it from the poorest county with the poorest school system in the state of Mississippi and try to have a successful life or career? My parents supported me, which played a major part in my life. Now here in Roanoke, Alabama, parents support their kids. If it's not your parents, there is someone who loves and supports you. Also, I had my church, community, and teachers. My father, he didn't finish high school. My mother, she did finish, and she did not attend college. This didn't stop them from making sure all 6 of us finished high school, and we had to go to college even if we didn't finish. I had what you have right here in Roanoke, Alabama. I had my church and community who loved me and cared for me also. Our school system was so poor that pages would be missing from the books, and we would have to take pages and bind them together to keep them from falling apart. It's a wonder we learned how to spell with half of the pages and the words missing. But our teachers, they taught us from books. They taught us like they were teaching from books that were full of pages. I must tell you that the church makes a difference. Parents make a difference. The community and its leaders make a difference. Teachers make a difference. You have such a large impact on the student lives. See, when I was in the 1st grade, Miss Denson, who helped me get through the 1st grade, I had just moved to this new town. I would go to my 1st grade class every day, and I didn't want to be there. My teacher, Miss Denson, had a chair right beside her for me because she realized I might cry because I had just moved to that new town. I didn't have any friends. I wanted to go back to my old school. At this time, who had ever seen a green school bus or a green fire truck? Green was my favorite color. Green is still my favorite color. Miss Denison let me color my bus and my fire truck whatever color I wanted. She just wanted me to be happy. I needed Miss Denison in my life at this time. Miss Denison died last year at about 91 years old. We all need a Miss Denison in our lives. Miss Petit, she was my 4th grade teacher. It was important to her that you use your cerebral, medulla oblongata. She wanted you to be able to think about doing right all the time. She taught us the parts of the brain and what each part was used for. Mr. Jonathan Moore, my 8th grade teacher, he believed in me. He believed I was smart. He believed I could be great. That was important to me. He had faith in me. Ms. Butler, my 10th grade teacher, you were going to know your subject and verb agreement and how to write, or she was going to write it on your backside until you made an agreement to learn. I'm not saying that that was right, but this is the way it was done back then. And Judge A. Nelson was our principal. He was my role model in education. I knew at 6 years old, I wanted to be a principal. The thing I remember the most was he protected all of us from a girl named Elder Gunn, who was the oldest, and she beat up any student for just looking at her. See, I would walk down the hall looking like this here the other way because I didn't want to get beat up by Elder Gunn. Judge A. Nelson, the principal, he protected us from bullies. Teachers make a difference. My story, a journey, our dream. My church played a major part. See, I had a Jerry Howard in my life from church. See, it takes more than just your parents sometimes to make sure you're on the right track. Jerry Howard would pick my sister and me up and take us to church with his kids every Sunday. See, it is about each one help one. Pay it forward. There are great churches here in Roanoke that support students and this community. There are many Jerry Howards. Our community leaders were always making sure we were busy with activities from May Day, games, summer activities, vacation Bible studies, and all type of activities that would take a time so we could grow to be successful individuals. My story, a journey, our dream. I went on to college and graduated, and I met my wife. We all know that behind every successful man is a successful woman. Later we moved to Roanoke with our 2 kids. I chose Roanoke, Alabama after visiting because something felt right about this community. I figured while I was here, I might as well have a dream like Dr. King. See, I believe everyone's journey should start with a dream. So many people here in Roanoke, Alabama, have dreams. We share dreams together. I think Dr. King's journey started with a dream. I read that Dr. King had a dream that his 4 little children would not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I had no idea that those 4 little kids would become thousands of kids here in Roanoke that I have and I had a dream for. In order to be successful, I believe people start with a thought, a plan, and even maybe a dream. Well, I'm so thankful for the dreamer of all dreams and the planner of all plans. I've said so many times that I am so glad that God allowed Dr. King to dream. I'm glad God allowed me to dream. Could it be that God allows sometimes for others to dream for us? I can remember in elementary school being in a play or a drama production about Dr. King. This is when I learned how to act. And what I mean, if you want to be successful, act like you want to be successful. If you want to be a doctor, act like a doctor. If you want to be a teacher, act like a teacher. Act like the profession that you want to represent. Carry yourself as though you are always the best. My story, a journey, our dream. I was excited to be the first African American principal at Hanlon High School here in Roanoke, Alabama, and Pike Road High School in Montgomery, Alabama. But I was even more excited to be the first African American superintendent in Roanoke City Schools. I am glad that was a dream. Coming to Roanoke 20 years ago was monumental. I'm so proud that right here in Alabama, that's Roanoke, Alabama, that the Roanoke City Board of Education and the citizens of Roanoke did not judge me by the color of my skin, but the content of my character. I'm so thankful to the leaders of Roanoke for their continued leadership and perseverance. Hold to your dreams of a better life and stay committed to striving to realize it. Earl G. Graves. Success is to be measured not so much by the position that one has reached in life as by the obstacles which he has overcome while trying to succeed. Booker T. Washington. Being someone that grew up in Mississippi and now living in Alabama for over 20 years, I can relate to the following parts of Dr. King's speech, I Have a Dream. The speech has had a profound impact or effect on my life and helped shape who I am today. Quote, I have a dream that one day down in Alabama with its vicious races, with its governors having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification, that one day right down in Alabama, little black boys and little black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. Well, I can tell you firsthand that we do have boys and girls from all walks of life right here in Roanoke, Alabama, supporting each other. In Roanoke, we proud as one. Quote, I have a dream that one day even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I just hope that Mississippi and Alabama can see we are doing what we're doing right here in Roanoke. Not Roanoke, Virginia, but Roanoke, Alabama. We are making history, joining hands right here in Randolph County, Alabama. In closing, please remember to act like who or what you want to be and dream for your family and your friends. Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars to change the world. Harriet Tubman. I'm thankful that my dream didn't become a nightmare. My story, a journey, our dream. We are one Roanoke. We are Black history. We are American history. Thank each of you for giving me this opportunity to serve this great city of Roanoke as the first African American superintendent. Now, my story, my journey, my dream. Thank you.
And you did not disappoint. You did a fantastic job. Thank you. And thank you for what you do for our school system and our community. We have the Rotary Club has a big event coming up in April, and I'm gonna let Sid Hare talk just a little bit about it.
Thank you, Darla. I'm Sid Hare, chairman of the golf tournament for Rotary this year, last year. We had a great golf tournament last year. We're looking forward to one this year. We hope y'all will come out and support it. If nothing else, bring a chair and go down to the 14th green and join the crowd down there waiting for somebody to sink a hole in one and win $100,000. Wow. We got a lot of other prizes too. Spread the word.
Again, we would like to thank each one of you who's coming today and attending our 8th annual Black History Lunch and Learn hosted by the Chamber and the Annie L. Albridge Library. A few little things coming that the Chamber has coming up. In March the 21st, we'll be doing an estate planning in Wedowee at the Methodist Church, First United Methodist Church in Wedowee. And